Namaste, Namaste, Guruji. I think you stopped when you were saying more disciplined, more contented the person is, and the exact reason for that, because subject object fusion, all that came later. But what makes that more disciplined? How is that person more contented?
Yeah, so based on our understanding, whenever raga and the object of raga come together, joy is created. Joy is created. This guy who is more disciplined, what I meant by more disciplined is, he's not somebody who is running around looking for things to enjoy. He's happy with alpha alpha and sprouted beans. And so for him, he doesn't need the big things. He doesn't need rasagullas periodically and this, nothing. He doesn't need anything. If it comes good, yadricha labha santushtaha, our sannyasi, yadricha labha santushtaha. If you are going to give me some nice cookies, I'll have it. What about if you don't get me cookies? Then also I'm reasonably happy only. I'm happy. I'm not pining for anything. Like that. Like that. So
Illabase
that's what
jagarmopatam.
Yallabase nijat karmo patam. Okay. That's what I meant. Nothing. Maybe the
I was
sentence was.
also thinking probably that excessive overuse of serotonin and all that is not there. Throwing the person to various altitudes of happiness and pushing them down to sorrow, that kind of variations he doesn't experience, maybe.
Right, exactly. All those are consequences. So all those are the medical ways of explaining it. That is fine. That will be natural. I think it has to be natural. The body
And
produces serotonin. Just like that, it produces serotonin.
yeah.
It is like the cow that has so much milk in its udder. It has to give it. It has to give that milk. So like that, serotonin is produced just by being like that. And so that's what I
Another
meant.
And could we also say more contented because he is conflict free?
It's so correct. So all those things applies. All those things applies. Okay. All those things apply because any conflict creates disturbance and creates dukkham. Dukkham. And so everything goes. Discipline includes all that. Discipline includes a desire to be conflict free,
Dharma.
remember. So I have to resolve my conflicts. Relationship conflicts, I have to find a way to resolve it. So only then I can be happy. So I'm talking about these relationship conflicts, other types of conflicts which are created by transgressing dharma in general. When I transgress dharma, I will create a conflict in my mind. And therefore that conflict will never allow me to be happy. It will not allow me to be happy. It will be like a thorn just sitting there all the time. So the person must have worked on all those things, and so fewer conflicts are there, and therefore, so rather than saying, I'd say removal of conflicts from that perspective is a reason for the person being contented with himself or herself. Because conflicts will not go away otherwise. Otherwise, it won't go away. Automatically, no conflict has ever gone.
discipline.
Then why do people say normally, yes, and with this understanding, conflicts are less and that knower doer separation is not there much. But people say normally, like, oh, a dharmic person suffers more. There's a general saying, a person who is dharmic has a lot of suffering. Why is it there?
Yeah, good question. So the way to correct our understanding there is a dharmic person has to put up with lot more inconveniences. Let's put it that way first. Inconveniencing is there. Okay, if you want to get a signature without bribing, you have to put yourself through a lot of inconvenience, which includes a lot of wait also, much longer wait. Much longer. I told you that example of that person who never did it. He was waiting, willing to wait. Wait. Okay, you asked me to come tomorrow. I came tomorrow. अच्छा बॉस नहीं आया कल आओ बॉस will come tomorrow. Okay, thank you sir, I appreciate your help. Then come back tomorrow. Then I asked me to come tomorrow, and then sooner or later he will sign. So you must be willing to put up with all these things. Put up with inconveniences, correct. That is what we mean by saying suffering. It is not emotional suffering. A dharmic person cannot emotionally suffer. Not possible. He'll be happy. He's the only person really who can sleep without drugs. Really speaking. So, external suffering, yeah, externally I'm suffering, but internally I'm okay. This suffering, Bhagavan has given me this. This is my prarabdha, so I'm happy with my prarabdha. That's the way to look at it. Good.
Thank you.
Good. Okay, Ramuji, you don't have your questions or commentary? Commentaries have to either go to the last or have to be eliminated also. Okay, so
Commentary
Sita, commentary. Then you just Sita and Rukmini and
Namaste,
Lakshmi.
Guruji.
Yeah.
Same thing. I have the same question. Like Dharmic people suffers more, and where does this dukkam comes from? I know it's because of ajnanam, but when we are by nature ananda, and then we say that raga and that object of raga, that fusion happens, and you have the happiness. But like, where is the source of unhappiness or the dukkha? We feel more dukkha, right? Like, if we are happy, we don't have any question.
Correct. So somewhere we saw dukkha, right? Sukha dukkha bhogaha we saw in that this one Vijnanamaya Kosha, I think, number 55. Sukha dukkha bhogaha and dukkhatmakam. Did we see somewhere?
Yeah.
Manaham. Somewhere we saw dukkhatmakam. See. My wrong conclusions are the cause for dukkha. Thinking that Ananda is going to come from outside is wrong. When I have a wrong idea, how can it give me sukham? Please tell me. In fact, I should not have any sukham at all. But because my ideas about Ananda is all wrong. Fortunately, at least that wrong idea also gives me some sukham. And that sukham is experiential sukham. There is a big difference between experiential sukham and Swarupa Sukham. Experientially, if I say I am happy, then it is only a matter of time before that experience turns into Dukkham. Because two sides of the coin. Because experience begins, if something begins, it has to end. Jatasya dhruvo mrityuhu. Okay, replace the mrityu with Sukham. Jatasya dhruvo Sukham. Dhruvam Dukkham Sukhasya cha. How about that? If I say I am happy now, how long will it be before I say I am going to be sad? Anybody's guess. And so this is in the realm of experience, which is all, what is the ashraya of the experience? Ashraya means what is it that creates that experience? What is the nimittam of the experience? Something out there. It can even be my health. I am happy that I am healthy. Suppose I say, how long will it be before I keep on saying it? That mantra has to go because health is not in my control. Which means I have surrendered my sukham. It's a surrendered sukham. Sooner or later it will have to be surrendered. And so, being temporary, sukham has to be followed by dukkham. Being temporary, dukkham has to be followed by sukham. That is
From
what is
Atma
called
perspective.
that is what
Atma
gives us hope.
perspective.
And so, that is what gives us hope. What hope it gives? Even though I am sad now, there is a hope. What is the hope? I know I have been happy before, even when things were tough. Therefore, this tough period also, I am sure it will go away. It will last. I just have to put up with it for some time. That is called hope. And so that hope carries me along. And so in this realm of experience, this is the maximum we can expect. And the Ananda, because my nature is Ananda, I am able to have a happy experience. When happiness is not there, not out there, still how can I be happy? Because happiness is my nature. So there is something complicated which prevents that happiness to be expressed all the time. It should express all the time, no? In Atmabodha we are about to see Megha Payem Shumaniva. Like the clouds are covering the sun, it looks as though the sun is missing. The brilliant bright sun is missing. How? Or it is blurred because the clouds are there. Dark clouds are there. It seems like it's twilight is about to become dark. No, it is bright, broad daylight it is. Like that example they give for this Ananda also.
Thank you, Guruji.
Yeah, Sita. Rukmini, then Lakshmi Prabha.
Jaykumarji, this Tamojrumbita that you said, Anandamaya is tamas. But my question is, it gives sentiency to Jiva. Because of that, constantly everything happens. Because of Atma. So, when it is all the time there to give sentiency as a pure consciousness and as a, what do you say, Sakshi has to be alert. It has to be alert. And how can it be tamojrumbita? It is tamas.
So that is a good question. The experience of Ananda is tamas. Its source is tamas because Ananda should not be an experience. Ananda is my true nature. When I take Ananda to be an experience, that is ignorance. And ignorance is tamas. And therefore Shastram always calls it Tamo Jurumbita, Tamo Janita, Avidya Janita. Okay, that is the main reason. Even though
I want to
happiness,
tell
sattva
that
is very much
exercise
involved.
produces the endorphins, dopamine and serotonin. Natural,
Yeah.
that's why
Yeah.
exercise.
Correct. So that avidya eva karanam. Because if the fact that I am
Serotonin
saying that
can
I
be
am
given
happy now,
IV, but it can cause the serotonin syndrome. It can cause heart attack and people may die.
Right, 1 second, Ramesh, we'll come back to that. So, the fact that I'm saying I'm happy and then I'm saying I'm sad itself shows that there is avidya in it. Okay, because Atma is Ananda Swarupaha according to the Shastram. Atma is Ananda Swarupaha. And therefore the experience of Ananda has to come under the category of avidya only. Because it's an agama payi. Ananda, Sukham and Dukkham is agama payi, And therefore, but Atma is not agama payi. Atmananda, Swarupananda is not agama payi. And so how can you say it is anything other than tamas? That is why Shastram says it is tamo jrumbita. Avidya is upadhi for the jiva and all these ideas come. We'll discuss
So
more.
there we have to see only Anandamaya as an experience, then it is associated with avidya.
Correct. It is did he use the word anubhava here? Yeah, punyasya anubhave is going to come next.
Okay.
Punyasya anubhave means what? Thank God I have some punyam which is fructifying, which is manifesting as this ananda right now. Without the
So we
punyam,
should
ananda will
take,
not be there.
yes, we should take it as because of the punya, I experience this ananda.
Because you know why? You know why? How can see? I can go to the kitchen and make so many things. Okay, from tea onwards, I can make hot water onwards. I can make so many things. Please produce some ananda for me. If somebody asks me, please produce some ananda. You are a teacher of Vedanta. You know so much. I don't want tea, coffee, and all. I want some ananda. Please produce it for me. Nothing. Zero. Everybody wants ananda, but no, we can't go and buy ananda from there, from anywhere. Nothing. Not available at all. And so, punyasya eva anubhavaha. Therefore, something is there which helps me experience ananda. It can only be punyam. Like that Shastra is saying. You can't produce it. You can't produce it, and thank God Atma is Ananda Swarupa, and therefore punyam is triggering that experience for me, which gives me joy. Joy can never be manufactured. That is why there's a $1 billion, $1 trillion industry. Ananda industry is the greatest industry because everybody is looking for it. They are looking for change. All these things are been there, done that. Tell me something new. Cruise. Have you gone on a cruise to Sri Lanka? Sri Lanka is only some 30-40 kilometers from here, from that particular point. Okay? Or you can know shortcuts. Cruise and all is it's only got over in 1 hour. Go all the way around. From Mumbai you go all the way around and through all this Cape Comorin and all that, then go to Sri Lanka here. Okay? Something like that. That is the trip I have not been. Newer and newer experience I need. That's all we can do. That is all we can do. That is what the creation of the industry is like that. Industry thrives on it because we got bored by all this other ananda. Other sources of ananda boring. That is a maximum. That is a maximum. That is why it is, this whole that is a challenge in the education industry also. People who are good teachers, they know all these things. They know discipline is important, reading is important, writing is important, thinking through by yourself is so important. Everything. And a child who is responding to that teacher makes the teacher happy. Finally, the teacher wants to give the best values to the child. And you can't buy values. I can buy a box of candies, but I can't buy a box of values. Every day you have this and you will be more courageous. I can't say that. So all these are so subtle, and Ananda is the subtlest. Very strange, Rukminiji?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Thank you.
And Guruji, they give the example of deep sleep for tamoguna, no? That could be deep sleep is always referred to as tamoguna pradana, right? That's because of ignorance. We don't know.
Correct. Sushupti. How can you be happy? Simply doing nothing, how can you be happy? How is it possible? We have to do so much to be happy.
Always you need some experience. Experiential ananda, vishayananda. All those
That
things.
Sushupti is a proof. Is a proof for me that I do so much during the day and I become frustrated. But without doing anything, I am happy. How's that? For 6 hours I can sleep well. How? And be happy. Sleep well means what? I'm happy during that period. It's just amazing. Mind boggling. Mind boggling. Good. Lakshmi, Prabha, then Sravana, then Hema,
Thank
and then Ramesh.
Namaste, Guruji. We were talking about Bimbananda and Pratibimbananda. I could not catch the point. If you could repeat once, I just want to make a note.
Yeah. Bimbananda is original Ananda. Pratibimbananda is the reflected Ananda. So, like if you imagine a mirror where our face is reflected, the original face is Bimba Mukham, and that face on the mirror is Pratibimba Mukham. So they talk about Pratibimbananda. If all the Ananda that I experience on a day-to-day basis is happening in the mind or the buddhi, and that is all Pratibimbananda. It's a reflection. It's a reflection of the Ananda that is there. Because Ananda cannot be produced, So some source of Ananda must be there. If the Ananda source is not outside, it has to be inside only. That inside Ananda is called Bimbananda, the original Ananda, which is the nature of Atma. Then Pratibimba. Through Karana Sharira and then to Mano or Vijnana Maya, the Ananda keeps getting reflected. Karana Sharira is the medium through which Ananda can be experienced in the mind. Like that the Shastram talks about. Okay.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
Shravana, then Hema.
Yesterday in Atmabodha class also we were talking about happiness. And today also we are talking about happiness. And I think yesterday we mentioned that, you mentioned that Swamiji once saw one lady in the gym before a session and after a session, and some 3.5 hours she was doing. From what I understand, I believe, people get addicted to even fitness because of the serotonin, etc., dopamine or whatever is generated. So that's an addiction there. So that means she's seeking happiness with this. This is where even people have hobbies, because
What was that word?
Hobbies.
Oh, hobbies.
Yeah, because hobbies also give happiness. It's a state of mind where you are calm and you're enjoying something. You're doing something. What we like. Okay, because work may not be something we like, but we do it out of compulsion. So hobbies happen. So I happen to be watching this movie on Prime called Shall We Dance? Richard Gere and Susan Sarandon. It's a 2004 movie. I saw it earlier, but the understanding is quite different from what I saw yesterday, because now it's Vedanta and everything is looked through the, lens of Vedanta. And in that movie, Susan Sarandon and Richard Gere are a very happy couple. It's mature couple, mature family with grown children, etc. He's got a very good career. She's got a good career. Both husband and wife love each other. The children are good, everything. And one fine day he realizes that there's something missing. Despite perfect life. And he's been watching while he's commuting from work, a dance class. So he, with great hesitation, he joins, but he doesn't tell his wife. Every Wednesday he goes over there. He joins dance and he finds great joy in it. One fine day, the wife discovers that the husband is away and suspects he's having an affair, so manages, and they have a confrontation. She asks him, if you wanted to learn dance and you were coming late, why didn't you tell me that you were going for dance classes? He says he was feeling guilty to want to be happier.
He says what?
He says he was feeling guilty to want to be happier. And
so he did not tell that to his wife.
Because if he tells his wife, his wife will feel hurt that she is not giving him enough happiness. That perfect life, the perfect happiness that he's had, he would feel ungrateful.
Interesting. Very interesting.
So I watched it long ago, but when I watched it recently, that hit me differently.
What's the name of the film?
Shall We Dance?
Okay.
It's on Prime. Yeah. Coincidentally, another movie that I watched also was Before and After, where a juvenile, a good family, educated family, dedicated family, a juvenile kid commits a crime accidentally, where the father hides the evidence of the murder, etc. Then the family, this is again Meryl Streep and Liam Neeson, very good star cast. This is on YouTube. So there's a conflict where the father wants to protect the child from punishment because it could be 10 years, 20 years, whatever for the crime. But the mother and this juvenile sister, younger sister, feel that they have to be honest and take the consequences. But after consulting a great lawyer, whoever, to defend this kid, this juvenile, kid himself goes and tells the truth. The mother goes and tells the truth. Thus, the juvenile gets 5 years punishment and the father gets 1 year punishment of destroying evidence. But they are a much happier family because they don't have to live with that guilt of hiding the truth.
Good. Very good.
So we are all pursuing happiness, but what we find as happiness, what we want, the father wants the son to be happy and he feels it's his duty. So it's that constant conflict. That is what I'm trying to find. We are constantly trying to find happiness, constantly trying to, do the right thing. The mother thinks that she is doing the right thing. The father thinks that he's doing the right thing. The lawyer feels that getting out his client, his duty to his work as a client. So there's no conflict even in dharma over there in finding happiness.
Right. So dharma doing one's dharma may make it appear as adharma also, because dharma is context based. There is no absolute thing that is called dharma. That is the only thing. The person who is chopping meat all day long, do you think he is going to get papam if somebody were to ask that question? We have to really look into it. The answer is not obvious at all. He is an employee of a meat packing company, and we don't know if really any papam goes to this guy. Probably not. I would say probably not. But somebody is getting papam. Somebody is going to get massive amount of papam. Okay? Because killing a cow, go hatya, there is no papam nothing that gives papam like go hatya. Somebody is going to get. Who is that somebody? Or is it a group of people? Or are the eaters of meat getting papam? These are all questions to ask. Questions to ask. Everybody is going to get some papam by eating that meat. The guy who goes scot-free could be that employee because he is just doing his duty. But I have a choice whether to eat or not to eat. That choice I have. And so, because choice I have, that guy is choiceless. He needs a job, and so he is working there. Some argument like that, maybe it can be made. So it's all very nuanced. We have to look into context and things like that. And so we can ask the question, that lawyer who wants to get this quote unquote criminal free, like our famous lawyer in India. He goes by the name of Kapil Dev. Okay, so don't.
Kapil Simple.
Kapil, and so he's always on the wrong side. He's a lawyer from the wrong side. Always means always. And so, what about such kind of lawyers? Okay. So, we don't know. We need to think about it a little bit. What are the intentions behind it and things like that. And so, they're also not all lawyers of that nature will get the same amount of punyam or papam. Okay. Somebody may actually get punyam, but somebody may actually get a lot of papam also, depending on the intentions and the context. And if the guy knows this is not right, and if he's doing, if the guy knows it's wrong, I would not do what you did because it's wrong. If he says, but he continues to support you, then this guy is going to live with the conflict, and what he's doing is more wrong than otherwise. So it's a big topic. It's all context based, and I can't there's no black and white answer to that. Okay, but we can apply some dharma arguments to these things. But those are interesting movies that make us think. That make us think one way now and another way 5 years later.
Yes. Now everything I see is through the Vedanta lens. I don't know when that would make my life difficult, but that is what is happening.
Correct. Thank you, Sravanaji. Hemaji, go ahead.
Namaste, Guruji. This we are talking about being happy. So there, not feeling sad. Where do you put? Actually, my mother's motto always, rather some function is there, somebody invited you. Sometimes they don't invite you. My mother would say, "Kupta sandosham, kupdata vartamilla." That was her policy. I mean, it helped a lot in our life also, that policy while following, it did help. Otherwise, you keep on harping on that. Okay, enna kupta, illa engita pesala. I mean, we all go through that.
So your mother gave you a good thumb rule to live by, and it became so important. And it is so important that without our knowledge, we assimilated, we internalized that advice. And so we keep saying, okay, if you didn't invite me, you didn't invite me. Okay. So that's the way it is.
அந்த வார்த்தை தமிழ்ல கூப்பிட்டா சந்தோஷம் கூப்பிடாட்டா வருத்தம் இல்லை அப்படின்னா வருத்தம் இல்லைங்கிறது வந்து so not being sad, that itself is
so what is the question?
No, that is what I'm saying. Not being sad, is it equivalent to being happy?
You tell me, what would be your answer? Suppose I asked you the question, what would you say?
Yes, that made me very comfortable because, that prevented me from being sad. So that gave me an equilibrium in the sense,
Correct.
So, in retrospect, I think, okay, I was happy I followed that. I mean, that happiness was there because I was happy I didn't feel sad. That type of feeling, because we three sisters, we always discuss that because engalukku vayasaidhu. So when we talk about our parents, these are all the key phrases which we discuss every day with my sister, because my eldest is almost going to be 80 next year. So these phrases we reflect upon. So not being sad is also, I think, part of being happy, I feel.
Good. Yeah, happiness is a spectrum. It's a spectrum. So
Yes.
it's a part of that. What you said is part of that spectrum.
And they also say, vitamin D is a happiness vitamin, they say, because lack of vitamin D also makes one very moody, very, very sad. That's why, that cold countries where the sunlight is for a very short time, they go in for depression. A lot of people with depression over there, because sunlight is a very important thing for that.
That's why they are also prescribed vitamin D, I think, supplement.
Yeah, correct. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hemant. Thank you. Prasad, go ahead.
Namaste, Vivekachoodamani. So this happiness, even the father of positive psychology, Martin Seligman, defines as pleasure plus engagement plus meaningfulness. So the pleasure is like you go and drink just go out and have a drink. So or things like that would give simple pleasure, right? That's one type of happiness. But what is the next level of beyond that is meaningfulness, engagement. Sorry, I just watch a cricket on TV. That gets some type of happiness. But I go to the field and start playing cricket myself. So and developing a habit. Things like that also would improve. So that's engagement myself. So beyond that is like meaningfulness, where I do good things which would help others, like service and things like that. So beyond all these three, of course, in Vedanta it is Shreyas, what is more directly our Anandamaya Kosha, which gives happiness. So it just reminds of what he has defined as. Apart from that, there is one more thing I want to bring up here. Happiness, I don't have to have any reason to be happy, right? So that means I don't have to have. So the experience at that level is consciousness with an object. That's the experience for us, right? In Vedantic parlance also. But so I don't have to have an object here, and the object being that the noble papa punya vasanas which are already there, because many mahapurushas who are being in a very tough situation. I think I heard somebody saying like in a very cold place, shivering without, I think Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's, I was reading and listening that time, I think an example where a person was, because he's totally into complete, it's a Mahapurusha, he won't even keep the bed sheet or to cover. So when it is given, it's gone away. Next, after 2-3 days, when the same person sees that, he won't have it. But he is in ecstasy all the time. Despite that, he is in such a situation where it's so heavy cold. So based on that example, this is what I don't have to have a reason to be happy, which means that all my vasanas are already there, which could create happiness. If it is meritorious things are there that would create more punya, which gives me a lot of happiness. I can be in ecstasy. On the other hand, on the reverse side, it is papa, which is part of it, right? So, but this is so an object is not required. That's my point at the end. When I say object, like normally for me, an object is required. An ice cream is to be given for me to be happy. So that's the difference, like for me, an object and versus those people.
Correct. Yeah, and that engagement, meaningfulness, and all that also is correct. That's how you get into hobbies and all that. Yeah. Hobby. Why should something that doesn't pay you anything make you happy? Means no, I know it's fine. I can keep drawing for hours and hours and hours. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Hobby. Thank you, Prasad. Mahesh ji, go ahead.
Can I just put in a plug in here before we go to the next? I just came across this news bit where there is a 74.92 crore loss in the alcohol industry over the past 4 years because General Z isn't drinking. I was so impressed, and I really wanted to know if it's true and what is the general perception among the younger generation. I posted it on my family group and cousins group where they're younger ones. My daughter says, yes, the wine industry is surviving only because of the older generation, but it is also facing a dip from the younger generation. There are no new drinkers.
Okay.
And my cousin's daughter says, can be true, new generation very fitness conscious and into clean eating, fitness raves and bhajan clubbing.
All right.
I found it a little difficult because I live in Bangalore, and when I go, especially during the weekend, in the evenings, Indranagar 100 feet road, there are dozens of pubs over there and it's crowded. But this data gave me, and this perspective gave me a lot of, hope for our future generations.
That's good to know. Alcohol industry and cigarette industry complaining of losses is a good thing. Good. Thank you. Yeah, Maheshji, go ahead.
Sorry, Maheshji.
No, I was just commenting on what Hema Singarji said. Actually, it's not true that cold country people are unhappy. In fact, if you look at the happiest people are people from Norway, Sweden, Iceland. Those are the people. They are the coldest country and you don't get sunlight for 22 hours a day. I've been there. 22 hours, there is no sunlight in a year. I mean, in a particular day. So people are happy. They are the most content people year after year after year. So I think it's nothing to do with temperature. It's all your frame of mind. I mean, you can always look at something as half full or half empty. So I think
that's good to know.
Yeah, because it's all whether you want to know. See, some people get elated by food. Oh, I like this food, like food. For me, lettuce without a dressing and rasgulla are same. Something to fill up stomach to solve your hunger. That's it. That's the only way I look at food.
Good.
So
good.
It's a state of mind. I tell you. So if you long for something, you are unhappy or unhappy or whatever. If you don't longing, I mean, that's what Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, right?
So
that
good.
is a raga dvesha.
More evidence for
what I mean.
Talk
no, I mean, I remember in 1976 I had a jaundice, and they said I should not eat any fried food for 3-4 months, and I didn't eat. Now even today I don't eat fried food because I had no craving for a fried food, no matter whatever it is. So all I'm saying is it's all how you look at it. That's not everybody can do that, but that's ultimately it is. It's, otherwise one object would have made everybody happy. Right now, it is different things make different people happy or unhappy.
Good. Thank you, Mahesh. That is good input. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.